Get tens of thousands of DMs from kids that are in their 20s and 30s that have deep underlying resentment and depression because their parents are quietly paying for their lives. There's nothing more important than not allowing your parents to have any leverage. I mean it. Parents give money because they want control. So my number one advice to millennials in the way that you asked it is to not rely on parents. And then number two, to quantify time. We actually have our whole lives backwards. You should be doing the most high risk, high reward work from 20 to 30. The problem is, that's when everybody expects you to grow up. I think, and grow up has transferred in our modern society to safe. I think that everybody under 30 should be tasting everything to get a better sense of what they're interested in. So I'd like you to call your parents and tell them, if they are, or they may not be, I don't want any more money from you. And then I want you, and then I want you to go on a plane and go to Scotland for no reason. Listen, I get tens of thousands of DMs from kids that are in their 20s and 30s that have deep underlying resentment and depression because their parents are quietly paying for their lives. Which I then tell them, like, don't take the money, jerk. But there's almost nothing worse than a parent subsidizing secretly their child's grown-up life. It will eventually be exposed and talked about, and I can't wait, because a lot of the underlying depression that is confusing people is actually coming from those sources. And it's even scarier when you dig underneath it, because what you start realizing is parents want to posture in front of their friends that little Sally and Johnny are doing well, and that's why they're riding a BMW or have a business when quietly they're the ones paying for it. If you don't stand on your own 2 feet and you're a grown-up, you will be sad.
Do you respond to haters when they post?
Yeah, not always. I mean, right now, the sheer volume between text messages, social, email that I'm getting is unsustainable, even if I did it for 18 hours a day. But I had 30-minute coffee this morning with a gentleman who, I wouldn't call him a hater, but was aggressively pushing back against me on social. And we had a lovely conversation about like marketing and how we see it differently. I get a lot of value. I mean, look, there's people that are making up stuff. The kid that wrote the article today about me in the sports card world made up stuff because I posted a photo of a box of cards yesterday, which I did for my friend that runs StockX, Josh, as a friendly gesture. He's turned it into this highly like hidden compensation. I mean, people are delusional. So that I don't get a lot of value out of. Lying or mean hate. If somebody, haters that pick on women and use sexual, you're not gonna, there's no engagement there. People that are like, Gary, you're a charlatan, like you're full of shit, what have you ever done? I'm comfortable jumping in and be like, hey, I understand you may not like the Instagram videos or I might come across too aggressive, but like, on that point of what have I ever done, I do think there should be a discussion of like, I built 2 massive businesses. And to that point, that might be a framework to a conversation. If the reply to you is like, fuck you, bitch, then I'm like, okay, this needs to move on. If they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I didn't realize that, then I'll come back and be like, hey, what about you? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm very capable of dealing with negativity because I come at it from compassion and empathy. They don't know me. Everybody in this room doesn't know me, and I know these 3 hang out with me a lot and have a lot of access to me. They don't fully know me. Who knows you? So when people are casting judgment, like, this is why I don't take compliments high either.
It's hard. That is really to train.
Well, this is why, I look at like, there's a couple things that people really struggle with. If you're attractive as a guy or gal, inevitably you're in trouble because you grew up in a life where people told you were attractive and you took that in. If you had high success in school, if you had high success in sport, by not being an attractive scholar or athlete, I had none of those over things. And so what actually gave me reinforcement was the end market. Nobody complimented me except the results of my little businesses. So I became market driven, not people's opinions driven. My friends, got it? Yeah. That's what I've self-analyzed. So that's what I'm looking for everybody else to do. Forget about individual opinions. What's the score say? Do people, I always tell people, do the people that know you best like you? See, my thing is there's so many people out there that are admired, but if you look carefully, their inner circle's garbage.
That's sad.
Well, that's a lot of people that people think are awesome. Like a lot of people that get exposed later in the news, like bad shit, Me Too, fraud, to go to jail. If you look carefully, you can be like, why don't they have an inner circle? Why aren't there people there for a long time? Like, I'm like, why do I have people around me forever? Like it's not super complicated. Like, people get confused, and then the reverse. So, to me, I'd rather the people that know me the best admire me the most, and the people that don't know me at all and are insecure and upset with themselves hate me the most.
Absolutely.
That's the game.
Done.
Fear is a real, you need to challenge yourself, in my opinion, to play that exact, you are not naturally that person. Just like I'm not naturally work out well, like it's really fun to think I don't do radical candor well because I hate micro-negativity, which has led to all my vulnerabilities. That's what I'm working on. You need to fucking go all in on everything that is judgment.